Toast. What? As an HSP, highly sensitive person, high sensory person, whichever term works for you, if you are not allowing yourself to be yourself in a way that feels authentic and real for you, it will make nearly every aspect of your life really complicated. Hey everyone, it's Willow here. I'm an HSP facilitator. I specialize in training HSPs to come back into self-alignment, to find success and purpose. And during my time of working with HSPs as I have over the years, there is a piece that occurs nearly every time that stops people from finding success and meaning and purpose, and essentially creates chaos in their lives. It is an area that quite literally stops us from creating the money that we want to create. It stops us from being ourselves in relationships, from having the relationships that we want. It causes problems in our business, it causes problems in our career. And that problem is when we are not allowing ourselves to feel the true state of our own identity. In other words, to actually engage with who we really are. So the trouble that we have as HSPs is that we're misunderstood a lot of the time when we're growing up. So we are told that we're supposed to fit in. The way that society is structured is that there is a theme that tends to work for everyone. So in order to be successful and happy, we're all supposed to follow the similar path and the similar way to do that. Well, as children, when we're growing up, as HSPs, as high sensory people, what's happening is we're having a very different experience of the world. We're processing everything much more deeply. We're having a very different emotional experience. We care very deeply about particular aspects of life in a way that quite literally dictates our identity. And when we're told that we have to make life work in this way, and we have to be this person, and we're not supposed to be too sensitive, and we're supposed to be, you know, like a cookie cutter version of a person in order to find happiness and meaning, what happens is we completely disassociate from ourselves, which is, as a child, when we're growing up, we don't have a choice about that. We have to be the person that we're expected to be in order to receive the love that we need and in order to feel safe. If we are in direct conflict with those that are providing support and nurture for us, then that our lizard brain associates that with the potential risk of perishing, because we're not going to get the nourishment and the support and the care that we need. So what we do is we actually disassociate from the truth of who we are and become someone that we think is going to be loved and accepted and that will fit in. And so what happens is the truth of our self is not actually where it should be. So much of the very initial work that I do with HSPs is where I ask them where their energy is. And when I'm talking about energy in this sense, I'm talking about the actual energy of self, the feeling of our self. And in nearly every single case, when they actually feel where that is, they say it's in their heads or above their heads. When the energy of our self is not in our bodies, it really messes up the actual reality of being in this world and being in this life. It feels easier to be disassociated from ourselves in order to fit in, in order not to be seen, and in order to kind of hide. But that is a bit like a plant or a tree in the garden not wanting to put its roots in the ground and kind of hiding all of its leaves. You know, it might be able to survive a little bit if it's got some roots in and some leaves showing, but that plant is not going to receive all it's not connected into the matrix of nature. And that's exactly the same for us as human beings. This is why very spiritual people are often struggle a lot in life to make the money that they want to get the success that they're looking for, to find their place and meaning and belonging in the world. Because most of the time, highly spiritual people feel like they don't really want to be here. Well, the trouble is you've chosen to be here, and you're dearly needed here. Highly spiritual people are dearly needed in this world to bring their energy and bring their insights and to channel what we're here to channel. But the trouble is if you're not actually here and engaged in this body and aligned in your energy centers, then it makes life really difficult. So what happens for us as HSPs is because we're not associating with our true identity properly, we are essentially not in a state of empowerment. And what I mean by that is that we're not actually engaged with ourselves, meaning that we can't respond and interact with the world around us in a way that actually has the effect that we expect and want. If we are in our heads and associating with a false version of ourselves, we can't actually energetically engage in the world around us that will bring the parts of life that we really want and need. So it is very similar to how manifestation works, but essentially it means that we're not engaging with our purpose, the people that we're meant to be interacting with, the work that we're here to be doing. There's a misalignment going on. So there is in the link in the description, there is a masterclass that talks about what to do about this and how to actually regain this experience of self again, and how to actually find the truth of your identity and the truth of your purpose and the truth of how you actually are intended to fit into the world. So as adults, what we need to do is we need to stop associating our identity with the people that expected us to be in a particular way, and all that happens as like a haunting in our heads on an ongoing basis. Who am I supposed to be again? And we reference back to experiences from our childhood to try to fit our identity again, back together again, or try to get a sense of that. That's just chaos. None of that's real. That's not who we really are. So in this masterclass, what I'm showing you is how to use a key set of foundations, a natural set of foundations that help you to actually experience the state of your natural identity, and how that begins to reveal your purpose, and how that allows you to reconnect again into your body and feel the natural state of who you are. The truth of our identity is a state. It's not an idea. It's not a concept that we have made up. The false version is a concept that we've made up in order to be safe. But as adults, that is not how we find security and safety anymore, because none of that is real now. None of that exists. We could get away with it as a child, and we may have survived as a child, but it definitely doesn't serve us as an adult. So what we need to do is we actually need to reassociate with these key elements of the truth of who we are in order to bring ourselves back into where it's supposed to be in our body, so we can actually find a place of self-engagement, realize that we are safe as adults, and that we can actually create a container of safety around us that allows us to be seen in the way that we're supposed to be seen, in the way that the world can actually acknowledge us, so we can start to recognize the natural area of life that we're born to serve in, that we're born to be in whatever level or context that may be. And then we're also starting to engage energetically again in the garden of the world, where we can start to receive the energetic nourishment that we are due, that turns into all the things that we really want, which is the success, it is the money, it is the relationships, because now we're actually allowing the world to bring what it's trying to bring to us. So we are now in a place of receiving what is naturally ours. But if we're not in that state of interconnected self-engagement, then we can't expect all of that to happen, because we're walking around almost like a sort of, like a robotic version of ourselves that isn't actually plugged in. We have to be plugged in for life to work. So you'll find the link to the masterclass in the description. Please also take our quiz if you'd like to find out if you are a high sensory person, HSP. It doesn't mean that this is a condition that you have to now manage. Being an HSP is an absolute privilege. It is an advantage, it is a gift. It's occurring in 30% of the population. It has done ever since mankind began, and we are here for a very specific reason. And that reason for you will be revealed through watching this masterclass. So enjoy the process. Remember that life is about being in enjoyment. It's about being in joyful self-engagement, so we can actually be in this world, be in this life, and make the change that we're here to make. Thanks for watching. See you next time.